and it's more the togetherness that stands out when Texas Tech is on defense.
Mountaineers dealing with some injuries at running back. Sincere Bowers gets the start. Inside zone to begin. His senior day here in Morgantown, into the flats and rebuild this program. In his first campaign back, 4 wins already versus 7 setbacks. Fox is going to be gobbled up. And Tech defense as advertised, 3 and out. Oliver Straw will punt it to Jacoby Williams. And it wobbles before hitting the 42. Hickey his first touch. And a 1-yard pickup on first down already in WVU territory.
We were talking with offensive coordinator for Texas Tech, Mac Leftwich, and he talked about the vertical passing game, but how the whole goal is to open up run lanes. So they want to throw it down the field so that they can run the ball.
Morton has thrown it a ton in his career. Movement on the right side. And it's batted down. He was trying to spot Carter, and it was shoved back in his face. Redwood rejected the pass at the line.
You talk about a formula for an upset. Well, number one, it's winning early in downs, but it's also taking the ball away. Redwood had a great opportunity on that last chance. Let's see what West Virginia does. They love to bring pressure, one of the most blitzing teams in all of college football. Let's see what they do.
Zach Allen, defensive coordinator, said we got to get him into 3rd down and long, then we're going to dial up the heat. There it comes, pass to Carter on the edge, and Carter ushered out of bounds near the 40 by Carrico. It's going to be 4th down and 4 yards to go after an 11-yard gain. You got to imagine Texas Tech wants to go for it.
Yeah, they're staying on the field, and they have a high level of confidence. So expect some of these option routes on the inside. But, man, this crowd is starting to feel some of the energy that the defense is playing with.
Officially 4th and 3. Red Raiders want to go fast. 50% on 4th down this year. Williams in the backfield, and here's Morton. Swings it out, and Jacoby Williams picks up the first. Chase Wilson was there, but not before the drive continues for Texas Tech.
Texas Tech likes to go fast on offense, so as soon as they get that first down, they are going with extreme speed. The ball went to the sideline, so now you're allowed to substitute. That's why you're seeing this tempo slow down just a little bit.
And that's a chess match, right? If you're Zach Allen, you're making those substitutions, trying to make sure that Texas Tech can't go as fast as it wants to. On first down, Morton floats it across the middle. Williams grabs it, and it'll be shoved down quickly. It was Carrico again, a 6-yard gain.
So it's not just the running game with these backs. They also catch it out of the backfield. This is the 2nd reception we've seen from a back out of the backfield early in this game.
Morton returning to Morgantown, where he was injured on this same field 2 years ago. Including 1 tackler, and now again it's Carter. Carter inside and shoved down in the 2. Now the missed tackle. It's Williams inside zone.
Substitution, defense, 12 players on the field. Number 6.
First and goal from inside the 1. And you've got Dickey, you've got Williams. Let's pick your poison. And an extra offensive lineman, tight end and Upshaw now on the field. Straight ahead and up the middle for the touchdown. And it was Rodriguez that snuck in. Rodriguez, hard to miss. We had a fun conversation with him last night getting ready for this game. I hoped that he was going to get another opportunity to punch one in on offense. And quickly
than you imagine.
Virginia before
copter pilot. What's it like when you score a touchdown, you look across the way and you see your wife there supporting you? He goes, it's amazing, it's incredible. And their journey continues, and well, she's got a great story to tell as well. Mountaineers have it, their 2nd possession after the 3 and out. And Sam, already it's 3rd down and long.
Jacob Rodriguez is the heartbeat of this defense. He's a finalist for the Butkus Award, the Bednarik Award, the Lot Impact Trophy, the Nagurski Award, the Lombardi Award, you name it, outside of the Heisman, still not finalist outside yet. He's a finalist for. he takes the ball away. He's record-setting, over 100 tackles, but it's not just what he does, it's the impact on the entirety of the defense. I think that's what makes him unique. Everyone is following suit.
Third down and long. Scotty Fox Jr. The dump off inside. And rumbling out of bounds is Jacob Barrett, short of the line to gain. Ahead to the 30, a pickup. And Williams racing away from it. Whistle dead. Town, and more than 35 players recognized and honored before kickoff today. Always an emotional scene. A roster that was turned over after Rich Rodriguez was announced his second stint back here. More than 70 new players this year. 7-0 our scores. We take a look at our college football headlines presented by Twisted Tea. Big win for Ole Miss yesterday in the Egg Bowl, and then Texas. Sam Acho hands the Fighting Texas Aggies their first loss of the season. Get your thoughts there. In North Texas now in the American Conference Championship game, likely to face Tulane next week. We will see. What were your thoughts on the Longhorns?
They played probably their most complete game of the season. And obviously Marcel Reed, a little bit of an injury, came back. It's a great
late
game.
Picks that he threw when they were trying to come back in Austin. Really the start of the second half by Texas was the difference, and you saw enough out of Arch Manning, and the defense kind of stood tall when they needed to.
And the run game was there as well. And Travion Wisner had another outstanding day.
Third down and short. After Williams raced along that left edge. Walking gingerly in the backfield behind Baron Morton. Taylor mentioned it earlier. Morton out of the boot as of yesterday. It's been a precautionary measure that Joey McGuire has utilized to try to keep that hairline fracture where it needs to be. Bye week did him a lot of good. And Terrence Carter's been active to start a 5-yard gain on 3rd and 1.
The outstanding block by number 3, Coy Eakin. That's what stands out on tape. They block downfield extremely well.
Morton lost the handle on the delivery. Let's see. Red Raiders jump on top of it back at the 25. The fumble came out.
The offensive line.
Davion Carter jumped on top of the pigskin. Second down and long, more pressure, and incomplete. Now Zach Alley told us yesterday you can't get to 3rd and long unless you're in 2nd and long, and Braden Siders rather applied the heat that time.
And he beats right tackle Jacob Poughton again. You see, it's pressure. Baron Morton has to get that ball out quicker. But Siders and this West Virginia defense, they are bringing so much heat. It's what they've done all season long.
Crowd on its feet on 3rd and long. And the handoff inside, racing into open space. The Red Raiders pick up the first down. Jacoby
Upfield left that gap wide open for Williams.
Sam, it's a nasty 1-2 punch in the backfield with Dickey and his size at nearly 220 pounds, and Williams more of the scat back. Morton wants to throw it and batted away at the last minute. Reggie Virgil targeted. Michael Coates Jr. warded that one away.
We did hear from the coaching staff, and we also saw it on tape. This West Virginia team, they are playing extremely tough. They are not going to quit, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They're playing with violent aggression, and sometimes that can cause the ball to bounce your way.
WV used 1-2 of its last 3. Cameron Dickey this time. We mentioned 56 yards away from 1,000 this year. 4-yard gain. It's 3rd down.
That's the downside where I will say about some of these teams that love to go fast tempo. All of a sudden you blink and it's 3rd and 6, it's 3rd and 8, it's 3rd and 7. So there can be a negative to the positive of the quick tempo.
Fred Perry, the injured Mountaineer, down on the turf.
Family can join again.
Over West Virginia. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. 3rd down and 7. After Perry was helped off the field. They'll set up the tunnel screen. Terrence Carter again, still on his feet, churning the legs for the first down.
West Virginia, it's got to be frustrating because they're in the position to make the play, but they're either missing tackles or giving up bad leverage.
It's a defense that has made strides. I mentioned the 2 wins in the last 3 games. That lone loss coming in Tempe 2 weeks ago, a 2-point setback. Long field goal made by the Sun Devils. Lost last night to Arizona. How about that little move? Along the far side, Caleb Douglas, known more for his length, but perhaps the most skilled receiver for Texas Tech. A gain of 11, another first down.
We saw it again, number 0, the bandit, Jamori Robinson, had a chance to make a tackle short of the sticks, but he just missed in space. So it's not just Texas Tech and what they're doing, it's also some missed assignments and bad leverage and bad tackling by West Virginia.
And Sam, that bandit position not as deep because Curtis Jones Jr. has switched over to offense to play running back because of the carousel that's happened at that position with all of the injuries, as Cameron Dickey picks up 1. Vesterinen made the tackle.
Eddie Vesterinen, one of the leaders of this defense, plays nose on the inside, been here for a while, and if anybody can get it turned around, it's him.
12th play of the drive for the Red Raiders. A good start for head coach Joey McGuire. Morton was injured here 2 years ago. We asked him about that last night. He said, I'm out for redemption today. And Morton sidearms it, and Dickey out of bounds. Feels like Morton has kind of found that proverbial zone to start. Short pickup, it's 3rd down.
Baird Morton has battled some injuries throughout his career. Even this season, he's working through an injury, so he's had to change his game just a little bit. Doesn't run it as often, not really a runner, but he's getting the ball out quicker.
3 straight 3rd down conversions for Texas Tech. Dickey and Williams. Dickey through a hole. Cameron Dickey. It'll be 1st down and goal right at the 5-yard line for the Red Raiders.
In situations like those where you're in the right spot, but you're just outside of your gap just a little bit. Instead of going through a block on the defensive side of the ball, you're trying to go around a block, and that's what makes it easier for Cameron Dickey, one of the best backs in the Big 12, to just run right through the lane.
And Sam, you wonder, Joey McGuire, offensive coordinator Mac Leftwich, want to bring the stash package back on the field with Jacob Rodriguez. He's already scored 1 touchdown today. For now, it's Baron Morton after a gain of 18. Inside give, and Dickey's going to be chopped down. Braden Siders and Tarnew combined to make the stop.
Love that play by Tarnew and Siders because it's essentially a zone read, but you have a feeling the quarterback won't keep it, so you lean more towards the run. So great job knowing that Baron Morton likely was not going to keep that in the zone read.
Corey Aiken back on the field, lines up in the slot. Rodriguez told us he'll sniff around the offensive huddle. They get down in the red zone and have a chance to get in there. Morton wants to throw it. It's incomplete. Now man-to-man coverage out there. Caleb Davis was blanketed by Jason Chambers. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Chambers is the man-to-man. He knows that a fade ball is going to come, either fade or inside. Watch him play right on the inside, and he's patient, keeps his eyes on the receiver, and he keeps that inside slant from being open and plays that ball perfectly.
Mountaineers need a stop here to force a field goal attempt. Dickey motions out, empty backfield. Morton wants to throw it. Off the pump fake, heaves it wide open for the touchdown. It's a 16-play touchdown drive. Dickey actually led the Big 12 in rushing before the bye week. Love to get back in that position in a game.
I think the best opportunity is trying to take a shot down the field on the.
Back him up all the way to the 19-yard line.
Gerard Bowie is 5'9", 162, and he's a slot receiver trying to block on the edge. Makes it very difficult. So Rich Rod is frustrated, as you can see, 2 3 and out so far. I think the best opportunity is trying to take a shot down the field on the outside, see if you can either steal a PI or get a completion.
2nd and 16, Mountaineers in search of a spark. Fox, the RPO, back to the original line of scrimmage. Rodney Gallagher III again. And here comes another flag. And it was late. Audio broke up there. It'll be 3rd down.
I think the way that you do it is not on the inside, because Lee Hunter is huge, and Jacob Rodriguez is one of the inside linebackers. Not on the edges, but I think you can attack the corners just a little bit.
See if Fox will try to do that here. Instead, he escapes the pocket, makes one man miss, dives ahead. Line of scrimmage again. Well, Texas Tech from the West Virginia 34. Fox Jr. straight ahead. He did not.
All because of the desperation. A little bit desperate. And if you are going to make that call, I would call a different play, not up the middle.
And you wonder if the Red Raiders want to take an instant shot here. Morton on the slant. And corralled quickly by Virgil, his first reception. Inside the 30, a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, I didn't love the call because of the desperation, but I still feel like everyone's seen what you've done on tape. Have a counter to it.
Red Raiders steamrolled WVU last year in Lubbock, 52-15. Rich Rodriguez told us that was really one of the main games he went back to watch to see what happened. Why was the score so lopsided? How do we change that this year? Well, this year, Texas Tech, a much better version of itself. More talented, more explosive. The yardage tells the story. And the Red Raiders perfect on third down so far today. There's Morton off the back foot. Carter, first down. Well, Carter's just got that big catch radius, and anything thrown in the area code, he's going to bring it in.
Yeah, but you still see that pressure on the inside by Edward Vesterinen. And there's pressure in Baron Morton's face, and he still completes that ball. That's one thing you got to be aware of. So look, Baron Morton right in the middle. There's going to be pressure right up in his face. Gets completed. That's that one area of concern for Texas Tech. The offensive line has given up a little bit too much pressure so far.
6 catches for number 7, Terrence Carter Jr. already. Could be the final play of the quarter. Morton, seam route, there it is, and it's caught. Caleb Douglas, the transfer from Florida.
Get offers on.
We will see if that happens. The Mountaineers without a first. Multi-talented front four for the Red Raiders. On third down. Fox will buy a little bit at times, sidearms it, and a short gain on 3rd and 8 to Ryan Ward.
One of the benefits and what you're going to see West Virginia start to do, we saw in that play, they call it 7-man protection. So 2 extra blockers to help out on the guys on the outside. Now that number 2 on the inside, Lee Hunter, 6'4", 330. You might need some extra help on him as well. He's on the interior. But that's going to be the only.
Will take his time and send it to Williams with a fair catch.
It's going to be a huge loss
in that Gamecocks program. And he was one of the players that we heard a lot about in talking with Zach Alley, defensive play caller, and Rich Rod yesterday here on campus. 3-yard gain on first down.
He's one of the leaders of the defense, really good in coverage. It's going to be a huge loss for this defense.
Back to the well one more time, and Dickey and Williams on the field. Dickey gains 4. The Texas Tech resume is awfully impressive. 10-1 coming in. The lone loss in Tempe against Arizona State, where Baron Morton was injured. Will Hammond came in. And that convincing, crushing win over BYU, 29-7. We'll see a rematch next week in Arlington of the Big 12 Championship. Not really the tremendous resume builder for this team this year. That and a road win at Utah, also in convincing fashion. Here's Baron Morton heaving one deep, man-to-man coverage. Flag on the field, and the ball.
Head turned back around.
Boy, Coy, he almost corralled that twice, including once on the turf. Plays that slot receiver position. That pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage. John Lewis sent it down. A lopsided start in favor of Texas Tech, number 5 in the country. It's eyes on the college football playoff and the Big 12 championship game next weekend. And Sam, they win this game today, they are a lock for the college football playoff. Joey McGuire telling us he wants that first round bye. He thinks that would be beneficial for this team and for Behren Morton and everybody else on the roster. In traffic, the inside give back to the line of scrimmage. Chopped down. Boyce.
We talked about it, just his players getting healthier, but he said it'd be beneficial because it's one less game, one less opportunity to lose. And so that's why being in that 1, 2, 3, or 4 is a benefit.
Behren Morton just throws it down to the turf. There was pressure right up the guts. Eddie Kelly Jr. met Behren Morton right as the snap got to Rodriguez. Minds a little trash talking right there. His team is trying to find some sort of spark to ignite, have a chance to put some points on the board, trailing by 3 touchdowns already. And Kelly Jr., the transfer from Mizzou, blew up that sequence on 3rd down and long. Rodney Gallagher, the 3rd. Fair catch made at the 11. Well, punt of 38. Mountaineers get it back. They're looking. Texas Tech with the advantage time. Sam Acho, you played on defense at a very high level, in a very familiar conference. Any sense on who that could be as West Virginia and Scotty Fox Jr. get it back, still in search of their first down?
Well, initially I had 0 sense, and then I looked over at Bill, our spotter, and he was like, hey, I think I know who it is. And now I think I know who it is.
Now you know?
Now I know.
Through Bill Garrity or
Through
just?
Bill Garrity.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I should have known earlier.
Pretty. So far it's been all Red Raiders.
3 and outs for West Virginia, and then 1 5 and out, essentially a turnover on downs. They've got nothing going on the inside nor on the outside, but I think you need to once again take a shot down the field.
It's the top run defense in the country, and the slant pattern incomplete. Cam Vaughn, he was finally targeted near the 20. Rich Rodriguez faced with another 4th down deep in his own territory, and the punt team trots on the field.
It's a 4 3 and out so far, and I mean, for a defense, if you're Texas Tech, you're kind of like, all right, cool, just easy pickings. For an offense for West Virginia, they have to, I still think you have to just attack the edges. So whether it's Cam Vaughn, the receiver on the outside, maybe Gerard Bowie, try something on the outside.
Low line drive punt away from Jacoby Williams, and it bounces out of bounds.
10-yard penalty.
Turned to 15 and 25. Great job by Virgil blocking.
And that run by Cameron Dickey now moves him over 1,000 yards this year. Only a sophomore. He'll add to the tally. So he races for 30, a couple of more. And what a season it has been. One of the top running backs in the country. And Sam, you feel like he's only just now starting to cook. Like he's got a lot of great football in front of him in Lubbock. All afternoon to survey for Behren Morton. And finally unloads it out of bounds. Caleb Douglas got a couple of fingers on it.
And we heard from the coaching staff, and they said, man, Taj Brooks was put such a huge impact on both of the running backs. So Dickey, you're seeing some of the effect of a veteran who taught them the game.
Behren Morton's thrown for over 8,300 yards in his career, all 5 years in Lubbock. Joey McGuire, even Jacob Rodriguez told us yesterday, you asked the question, Jacob, what would you say about Behren Morton? And he said, he's the toughest guy I know. Fighting through injuries, the shoulder injury here 2 years ago, the hairline fracture this go around. Terrence Carter, another catch. It'll be 4th down and short. And Morton has his eyes on the bigger picture too, given what's in front of Texas Tech after today.
You saw him, John, to one of the West Virginia defensive linemen earlier. He's not afraid. Big time 4th down.
Mountaineers need a stop, approaching 10 to play in the half. He'll stack up the box. Dickey, the running back. Morton wants to throw it on the slant. That's a first down and a lot more. Well, Joe McGuire said something interesting to us last night. You see Morton's numbers so far. He said, we've got another gear to get to. We're going to have a different gear in the Big 12 championship game. A little stop, a little start. Cameron Dickey, shoestring tackle. And then he said, in the CFP, we think we have even another gear at that point in time.
I believe him. Just the way we interacted with some of the players, they are locked in. They are dialed in. They are not relenting.
Dickey adds to the tally. And on second down, picks up the first.
People talk, Roy, about peaking at the right time. And a late bye week, you might say, how's that going to help you peak? But we talked with Jacob Rodriguez, we talked with Behren Morton, and they said that they haven't let up in the least amount. They're keeping each other accountable. They're not going easy in practice. They're not letting little things slide. Those are signs of a really good football team.
A couple of walkthroughs during the open date. And Williams is going to be slammed down hard at the 15. Chase Wilson, one of the leaders on this senior-laden defense. Colorado State transfer.
I love the action on this play. You see, it's almost like a give back to Williams on that play. And so when an action like that happens, it makes the linebacker have to either settle down a little bit or overrun the play.
Second down and 10. Final weekend of the regular season. Where did the time go? Behren Morton's going to keep it. And he's lassoed down at the line of scrimmage. It was Lewis. And it's third down. I'm not sure we had that on the bingo card today.
Well, the tackling's getting better. You see Lewis with the great tackle. We saw Scruggs earlier, number 6, Jordan Scruggs, with a phenomenal tackle as well. This is what you want to put on tape. No matter what the score is, just play with your fundamentals, play with your technique, and good things will happen.
Third down and 10. Terrence Carter Jr.'s had the hot hand. He went in motion. Morton the other way on the swing. Cameron Dickey, full head of steam. Dickey inside the 5. It'll be first down and goal.
It's fearless. I mean, that's what stands out to me. Cameron Dickey is fearless. There's no one in the middle of the field. Instead of trying to run laterally, he runs vertical, tries to get the first down. He dives, and he does attain the first down.
Hit hard. Helicopter down just inside the 5. Dickey had his second receiving touchdown of the season earlier in this game. 14 touches, almost 90 yards. Back shoulder fade. Was that caught? It was! Caleb Douglas. Look at what he found. Behren Morton now with 3 touchdowns. To the early 2000s, beginning to be told for the second time after a great start in his first stint at his alma mater, and he has a lot of pride. He represents this state the right way, Sam, and I know it's not the kind of start that West Virginia fans want to. Certainly an interesting start in the big house back here in Morgantown, and the Mountaineers with possession. Gallagher the third. The jet sweep. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. The score tells the story. 5th ranked Texas Tech. They're ceiling as high as you can possibly get this year in college football. Mountaineers with the toss and a first down. First one of the game for the WVU offense.
And there's Jeff Weimer. Had a huge week last week, and that's what you do. You attack the edges, get the ball to your playmakers. Guys like Rodney Gallagher, number 24, get it to Weimer, get it to Bowie on the outside.
Gain of 14, and the first time the chains moved today. Scotty Fox Jr. There's the slant and another one. Jeff Weimer back to the well into Texas Tech territory.
There it is. Now you're seeing West Virginia start to speed it up just a little bit. They love to go fast tempo like Texas Tech, but you need that first down to do it.
Rich Rod told us yesterday, we just got to start drives. Just have to get that first down. Then our tempo starts to take over. It's the first time they're across midfield today. Fox Jr. on the hitch. Weimer again to the 35.
And I love it. It's almost as if, Roy, they were playing a little bit timid or a little bit afraid, trying to see what was going to happen early. But now they're just playing free. So just, people say grip it and rip it. That's what we're seeing Scotty Fox do. And now guys like Weimer and Gallagher starting to step up for him.
So after a 7-yard gain, Bowers the running back. Fox back to the air. And the pass is going to be intercepted. Just a yard.
This back to West Virginia. So it was a good stop by them. Heads up. So now it's 3rd down.
So on 3rd down, Mountaineers may.
Thinking about going for the 4th down.
Sure what good a field goal would be. Raiders. Fox does want to throw it. And the pass. 1st down and 10. Baron Morton has thrown for $150 and 3 scores already. On the toss to Williams. And tripped up at the 30.
And making a tackle.
Sam, when you watch this team in person, and as much film as you watched and consumed this past week of this Red Raiders team, how do you feel like they compare to the teams above them in the CFP, let's say top 10 right now? Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia in particular.
They're in that same conversation, specifically their defense. Their defense can go to bat with the best of them. Offensively, there are still some flaws that you see on the interior.
Williams, he's stacked up and driven backwards. He's going to lose 1.5 yards. Aleppo able to get him back down. It'll be 3rd and long.
Some of the pressure that Tech gives up on the inside is being exposed right now by West Virginia. They're bringing the blitz, they're forcing the decisions to happen quicker, and they're making the offensive line try to communicate, which is struggling so far.
Here goes Terrence Carter Jr. Morton the other way. Pass corralled by Douglas. A 1st down and another big play. There goes Douglas. And on the sidelines, Maine's down. Check on that. Little misdirection. Carter on the pop pass. Stopped by Ben Cutter.
So that play was essentially a replica of the play before. There was that toss play outside the series before, and then they fake the toss and go back inside, but Ben Cutter just shoots the gap and makes the play.
You see Caleb Douglas requiring some extra assistance over there. It's been a tremendous first half for him. 4 catches, 77 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Including one of the excuse me variety the last time. OC Mac Leftwich rather. Coy Aiken stopped near the 25. A 5-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and long after the 2-minute timeout. 28-0. Red Raiders on the move here in Morgantown.
Much winning energy.
By Michael Coach Jr. I serve pro after the 2-minute timeout. Baron Morton, deep ball.
To grab and to hold.
This time again it is. Rodriguez back in at quarterback. Already has scored a touchdown today. Can he make it 2? J-Rod, the jump pass. Oh, it's picked. It's picked in the back of the end zone by Ben Cutter.
The result of the play is an interception.
Tracked him down from behind. Fox Jr. slides down. He's going to lose a couple.
very next play.
Red Raiders call a timeout. They'll
15-yard penalty, automatic.
Ball. These DVs.
one-handed effort. Here's Fox again on the go route. With his
Other one I could have seen. This one, I don't like that call.
From the 42 after the 15-yard penalty. Not a spot foul.
Double
And a
pass.
backwards pass. Cam Vaughn sends one long, and it's hauled in by Grayson Barnes. West Virginia on the move. 43 seconds to go in the half. All 3 timeouts remaining.
Grayson Barnes is a transfer from NIU. He led the team in touchdowns, the leader there last year. You see the double pass, you force the aggression. All of a sudden, you make everyone on defense have to settle down and figure out what they're trying to do. Great job offensively putting pressure on Texas Tech.
It's a gain of 29. Mountaineers in the red zone. Miscommunication. And an Monday Night Football matchup. Drake. Jackson Dart starting to gain health and clearing concussion protocol and hopefully back in the fold. The Big Blue, that's a 7-yard gain and a first down for the Red Raiders. And time winding down here at the end of the first half.
Drake May's playing at an MVP level as well.
Did that come out of nowhere?
It seemingly did, right?
Timer, please reset the game clock to 30 seconds. 3-0.
And 7 seconds back on the timer. And the Patriots with new coach, new regime, new quarterback have looked vastly different in 2025. Baron Morton looks one way, slides back the other, and is going to lose yards. John Lewis in the area.
There's a couple guys on this
Texas
West Virginia
Tech
defense
called
that
their
are
second
doing it
timeout in the
right.
half. 30 seconds. Timer, please reset the game clock to 22
Timeout
seconds.
after
2-2.
stop by Lewis. WWE Survivor Series is a Thanksgiving week tradition, and all the way back to 1987. 4 games returns tonight, live from Petco Park in San Diego, with an absolutely stacked card, highlighted by the main event, a 5-on-5 lock 2-ring steel cage match. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar leading their teams. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, streaming on the ESPN app with the unlimited plan. Of course, a tie to the one-handed grab.
I know he's got his show on ESPN, but I like him as an announcer too for WWE.
Gets into it, doesn't he? Gets into everything. Carter, the one-handed grab. He reached.
This is a great opportunity for when the playoffs do come.
Jerry Maguire, Joey Maguire, using every possible snap. Added monster, the quarter.
Also the running game as well.
Championship game next week against BYU. Tech has been, as advertised, 5th in the country, one of the top defenses in college football this year. Baron Morton's healthy. That's a big deal as they get ready for the Big 12 championship next weekend in Arlington. And you have to think that Joey Maguire may put in a little Mitch Griffiths in a quarterback and some others at some point, but he wants to close this third quarter in strong fashion, extend that lead, and then they can kind of put it in cruise control like they did the last time out 2 weeks ago against UCF. Aiken picks up the first around the right edge, and not this time. Redwood a tackle. So Jacoby Williams is going to lose a yard.
He'd want one more score before he took the starters out. 2 weeks ago versus UCF, the starters started getting out at the end of the first half, but it was already a 30-plus point lead. One more score, you'd feel a lot more comfortable if you're Texas Tech. West Virginia, a pick 6 changes everything.
Mountaineers still with time. Their last 2 drives ended in Texas Tech territory in the half. Deep ball, guess who? Douglas has it into the red zone. With the throwing motion and what we've seen today. You know, that shoulder injured here 2 years ago, healthy, been dealing with that lower body issue at times this year. He picks up 50 there on the dime that was dropped in beautifully. Longest play from scrimmage today. Jacoby Williams squirts through inside the 10.
He's had to change his game, Behren Morton has, because of some of the injuries. Had a shoulder injury that he's played through pretty much the last 2 years. And then now the lower body injury. He's been practicing in a boot or not practicing at all outside of this last bye week. So he's had to adjust what he does as a football player. You see the toughness still come out, but there's not as much hits that he's taking, put it that way.
Now Morton took a good portion of his teammates down to his newly purchased land. They went hunting during the bye week, including his backup quarterback, Mitch Griffiths, and that's a touchdown for Williams. So our second half begins the exact same fashion that we saw.
Feeling
Mentioned he also said they would discuss at the half when to pull some of their key starters with big time play ahead, but it's a delicate balance like they talked to us about yesterday, guys, not wanting to pull them too soon, but with injury in mind. Behren Morton been dealing with stuff. Also of note, David Bailey headed to the locker room early in the first half. They need to preserve key guys like that.
Yeah, no question about it. A.J. Holmes batted down that pass from Scotty Fox Jr. Is it just me, or is Taylor Davis the only one that knows how to dress in cold weather, Sam?
I feel like that's a shot at your boy.
No, I'm just simply stating mere observation.
Man. I'm from Texas, dude. I was in Dallas for Thanksgiving. It was 65, 70 degrees.
Jacob Rodriguez, the tackle, after a 5-yard gain. You got a closet full of sweaters down there. You just failed to bring them up here to the frozen tundra of Morgantown.
This is true. And your roots are West Virginia, are they not?
My family, yes. My mom grew up here. My aunts, uncles, cousins, they're all watching. Through the line of scrimmage. And a nice looking play.
Virginia transfer from Jacksonville State with Rich Rodriguez. A critical first down to get some confidence going in this offense.
You could see the gleam in the eye of Rich Rod yesterday. Not for this matchup. He knew that this was not the easiest way to close down his first season in his second stint back at his alma mater. But with the job that he and his staff have done recruiting, they do feel very optimistic. That pass is incomplete. I'm not sure what all the hubbub was about there. Hit the turf, bounced up. Rodney Gallagher III. And if you look at some of the committed players and what they are anticipating in the portal, the junior college ranks, this will be a different looking team combined with some key returners from this year's squad next year.
Specifically the guy you just saw on your screen, the quarterback, number 15, Scotty Fox. He's what makes this thing go.
Straight ahead this time in traffic and corralled by Romello Height.
Andy's just a freshman.
You know, at this juncture, looks like the marquee win in year one under Rich Rod, and with Scotty Fox Jr. assuming controls. Retreating on the screen, fires a strike ahead towards the 40. Needed a lot more than that. Rodney Gallagher III. Brendan Jordan brought him down. It's a gain of 6.
I'll go backwards just for a little bit. It is positive to see West Virginia start getting the ball in their playmakers' hands. Rodney Gallagher III was a 2022 Male Athlete of the Year in Pennsylvania. You're seeing him get a couple more targets. They got to get the ball to Cam Vaughn a little bit more. So I understand the score is what the score is, but these reps for Scotty Fox and the trust that's going to be built with some of these guys on his team, Gallagher's just a junior, those are going to be invaluable moving forward.
Fifth punt of the game, Jacoby Williams on the move and brought down quickly at the 27. The Big 12 championship. And Jacoby Williams still on the field at running back for the Red Raiders. Jump cut. In 30+ years as a head coach than what he's had this year with this group. And you think about that. A lot of transfers coming in the portal. So much was made about the defense and the payroll involved just in the front four. Here comes a penalty flag. 12 title game And he says, well, we just can't afford any mistakes. And his team, Sam, they're playing with a sense of urgency, but they're also playing very loose.
They've all bought in. That's what makes it so fun. There's not a lot of egos on this team.
Griffiths will hand it off. Jacoby Williams. Baron Morton's afternoon comes to a close. 2 quarters and a series to start the third. I mentioned that hunting trip he took Griffiths on, Tanner Allen, a handful of other of his teammates during the bye week, hunting some hogs in big country. And you love his connection to Lubbock, growing up there and now being able to lead this team to the college football playoff. Sam, by your estimation, this win today pretty much guarantees the Red Raiders are in no matter what happens next week.
Yeah, this is a lock, in my opinion. If they win this game in this fashion, they will likely be a top 4 team when the next ranking comes out. And so even if you lose to a BYU team that is ranked, that would still keep them in the college football playoff, in my opinion.
3rd down and 6. I think the real question is, what does that first round look like? Are you hosting a team back in Lubbock, or do you get the bye? And Joey McGuire said, we want the bye. We mentioned that in the first half. Griffiths hit the turf hard. He was sacked. And now West Virginia picks it up.
His hand is.
Here's the call. Loose and stay warm. So for Mitch Griffiths now to Max Brown. And Rich Rodriguez informed us yesterday that all 3 signal callers could see the field. Brown stops at Florida and Charlotte, native of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Lil Wilkins also in the fold, the redshirt freshman out of Washington, D.C.
He said that Brown is a different type of runner than you see from Scotty Fox.
He called him the strongest quarterback, Wilkins the fastest. And Brown to the 45. And Roberts chopped him down to the turf. It's a gain of 4.
But for the defense, nothing changes. I understand there's a different quarterback, but you still have to understand that you're playing your alignment, your assignment, and your technique. And so you don't have to freak out when you see a new QB. Just trust your eyes, trust your technique, and stay tight in your coverage.
I'm guessing you didn't do a lot of that your time in Texas and in the NFL. New quarterback comes in, Sam Acho, business as usual.
Well, the mindset really is to destroy. And what I mean by that is if you got a new guy in, you have to dominate him. Don't let him get any type of confidence. As you see, there's a little bit of extracurricular activity going right around the 45-yard line. But going back to a backup quarterback, if you're a defender, the backup's in there for a reason. Either the starter got injured or they think he's a better opportunity. You have to make sure that you don't let him build up any kind of swagger.
Weimer with the 7-yard grab. That is a first down.
The ruling on the field of a catch is under further review.
Love at first.
This Texas Tech defense. Now West Virginia back to work. Sincere Bowers upended at the line of scrimmage. Brendan Jordan. Sam, the one thing we've seen from this Texas Tech defense, you got the big anchor in the middle. And Lee Hunter started his career at Auburn, then at UCF. They don't miss a lot of opportunities to bring ball carriers down. Form tackling is awfully impressive with this group.
I had a coach who said once that little things done well make big things happen. This defense does the little things extremely well.
Brown nearly sacked, somehow avoided the stop in the backfield. And a shout out to Texas Tech's defensive coordinator Sheil Wood, the great job he's done. The pressure came from John Curry. We asked Coach Wood last night, how much fun are you having? He said, yeah, this has been a fun season. He's had stops just about everywhere throughout the Deep South. Tulane, Houston, Troy. And now at Texas Tech, when Joey McGuire came calling, he could not pass up the opportunity. And now with this talent in the roster, it's been assisted and aided by NIL. They have been dominant. There's a flag back at the 46. Play in our third quarter has gotten a little sloppy. Hold it.
Trust the guys around you.
Brown looking back against the grain. And the pass is going to be picked off, intercepted at the 15. Amir Boyd. And Boyd waiting for the convoy. There it is. Back to WVU territory. Boyd brought down. It's a different number.
That's what makes him so special.
And a new quarterback. Not making the trip after undergoing successful surgery.
Thought it was Rodriguez for a second. Number 10, he's been down there a couple times.
Well, there was a lot of movement here in the booth thinking that Rodriguez was going to be back on the field, but Lloyd Jones. And the handoff, Jacoby Williams, the jump cut.
He'll be in that same spot, but on the same line and same track. There you see Jacob Rodriguez, the captain, the leader, the Heisman hopeful. But the one concern I do have, Roy, are some of the injuries seem like they're starting to pile up for Texas Tech.
Yeah, another reason Coach McGuire wants the bye in the first round of the dance. BYU looming next week. Jones to the end zone. The comeback, and there it is. Grabbed cleanly, Micah Hudson. The SEC and the Big Ten. And he chose to stay in the
5-yard penalty
For Alabama.
In Atlanta and potentially the CFP. Ball came out. Red Raiders trying to jump on top of it. You got Straw back on the field to punt it away. And now Tristan Gentry hopes to provide an electric return. Side.
Vanderbilt at the time, over 400 yards, 4 total touchdowns on the day. But Ty Simpson, 22 touchdowns on the year to just 4 interceptions. Does he get back in his groove? Which quarterback can have a day, and how much voodoo will exist in a night game in Jordan-Hare? But Sam, you're right. Everything on the line for this Crimson Tide team.
Jordan-Hare's haunted. Let's just frame it properly.
I'll confirm it. I'll confirm it.
It is a haunted facility, especially if you're Alabama coming to town.
I think Alabama's going to win. Let me put that on the record. You got Auburn on the record.
It's going to be quite the scene, and Mike do everything he can to continue to be a part of that program, potentially with a new staff next year. And he's a good coordinator. They're going to be prepared. A fake punt, the Red Raiders.
Automatic. Hey, if you have the numbers, you run the play.
Oliver Miles. Braylon McDonald able to race.
We'll take the middle guy in that line. That's an easy call. So West Virginia has to be able to align to that. This is just something that you do team side of the ball.
So Miles picks up 4 more yards after the delay of game penalty. Texas Tech going much deeper into that depth chart. On the road in firm control. And the outcome today has never been in doubt. It was 21-0, but before you could blink an eye. And around the left edge, Lloyd Jones. Jones going to buy some time on first down for the Red Raiders.
Fake field goal, a fake extra point, because they didn't align it properly. And so if you align properly, all your problems will be solved. But if you don't, then teams will just run what they run.
Did a great job summarizing all of that compared to the 3-minute rant we just heard during the last break. Well done by you. But it really is an alignment.
Get his special teams unit in check to make sure that they're just lining up properly. That'll avoid all of the extra drama.
Rich Rodriguez actually interviewed for the head coaching job at Texas Tech at the turn of the century when it went to Mike Leach. Deep ball. And Texas Tech strikes again. The second.
That technique.
That had the interception of Jacob Rodriguez at the end of the first half on the jump pass. And you saw Jones get sandwiched deep in the backfield right after he delivered the football. Now Stone Harrington has given way to Ian Hershey, the Arizona State transfer. Junior from Idaho, attempting the extra point. So the touchdown comes moments after the fake punt was executed on.
Has been, it would be a cherry on top to get that trip to New York, Roy.
And I'm told that she wanted a picture with you down the sidelines, which is always pretty cool. That she was excited about to tell her story, and her husband Jacob, a finalist for 5 national awards on the defensive side of the football, and chances are he's going to carry home some hardware at some point in time when you are Mr. Turnover. 7 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions. Now,
sometimes you hear about preseason awards and preseason watches, then you hear about semifinalists. But he's a finalist for these different awards: the Butkus Award, the Bednarik Award, the Lot Impact Trophy, the Nagurski Trophy, the Lombardi Award, even the Walter Camp Player of the Year. He's a semifinalist for that. So everything on defense he does. Now the question is it going to be enough for the Heisman voters to look at those 100+ tackles, right? Top Simpson has looked good at times. You look at
Wilkins pass for Buckeye fans. Julian Sayin a part of that mix perhaps as well as a result. But Mendoza, one of the favorites. Here's a deep ball.
But he was getting recruited to play linebacker, and even the head coach at Texas Tech, Joey McGuire, when he was at Baylor, recruited him to play linebacker. So opportunity didn't work at Virginia, but it opened up.
And restoration.
Playing in its first ever Big 12 championship. 1 second to go. Amazing. And then now 2025. This season isn't there quite yet, but a win next week in a Big 12 championship. And I think this is the year that goes down as the best in the history of Texas Tech football.
People felt it within the program, not only the amount of money that was poured in when it comes to recruiting and some of the players that came in, but even the culture. And also the people in the building. So I think that's why you feel some of this excitement. The talent is there, but the culture is stronger.
New offensive coordinator, Mac Leftwich, was part of the recruitment of Cam Ward to Incarnate Word. And head
Georgia as well.
About that for a moment. Oregon on the road at Washington, Alabama on the road at Auburn tonight. Those are the games that you look at and say, okay, potentially if there's an upset possible, could they come from one of those 2 games on a potential spoiler Saturday, 3:30 Eastern. Ducks and Huskies over on ABC at 3:30. LSU could also play that same role at Oklahoma against John Mateer and Brent Venables, the Iron Bowl tonight. SMU's got some work to do this evening out west at Berkeley, who just went through a coaching change. So it was announced that Justin Wilcox was let go last weekend.
And SMU, if they win, they are in the ACC championship game, as is Virginia if they beat Virginia Tech. So that Virginia Tech game is a game I've got my eye on when it comes
to go. An unspeakable tragedy. 3 players shot and killed by a former teammate, and to come back this year to have a chance to win the ACC, that would be incredible. But SMU potentially.
Rich Rodriguez and all the special teams coordinators just line up properly.
Fair catch called for and made.
Smoke.
Added point.
And around the right edge.
Tennessee coming up 3:30 Eastern.
Matt Berry, we cannot wait. West all the way back to 2001. Deep ball and incomplete. Handle its business in the big house. You got Indiana set for the Big Ten championship game against the Buckeyes after the Hoosiers crushed Purdue yesterday. Big 12 championship is set. These Red Raiders and
I think advantage Texas Tech, and the reason why is because Bear Bachmeier is still a freshman quarterback going against a very veteran defense.
It's Tristan Gentry. Pulling up tickets.
Play is under further review.
Is it? Then it'd have to be targeting
All the way back at their 20-yard line. So this rivalry weekend, dust starts to settle beginning yesterday, including in the Big 12. It was a big win last night. Brett Brennan and the Arizona Wildcats on the road in Tempe, finding a way to get the job done. Our apologies to Matt Berry for that outcome. Oliver Miles III able to pick up 8, but what a season it's been in Tucson for him, and that kind of set off the chain reaction of the Big 12 championship being settled and decided before we got the kickoff today.
We heard from Joey McGuire last night that he was hopeful that Arizona would find a way to beat Arizona State because that would seal their fate as far as a Big 12 opportunity. But both Texas Tech and BYU, they knew going into this morning that they were going to be in, but both have played at a high level. Texas Tech has not relented, which gets you even more confident in the fact that there could be a second gear that could go into.
Inside zone, and Miles will be brought down. 5 to go. What were the backyard turkey brawls looking like down in your neck of the woods over Thanksgiving? Guys getting after it, playing a little backyard football?
And ours happened watching the football, you know, watching Cowboys were playing, Chiefs, all those games. So
that's the best part about this time of year. You've got a multitude of different sports, but on the gridiron, you see these seasons in the NFL and college football starting to grind down to the very end. And it all points towards next Sunday. And the new 12-team college football playoff will be announced. And which team will be there at the candidate? Jacob Morton banged up for that game.
That's going to be huge if Texas Tech wants that first round bye, winning next week versus BYU.
Approaching the 2-minute timeout, one more first down, and this thing will essentially be what could be described as the largest home loss of the AP poll era, going back to 1960. And at the hands of the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Victory formation, Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis are to lose simultaneously.
And a team that has another gear, at least that's what head coach Joey McGuire said. This team is locked in. So if they can take that next gear and play their best ball in December, college football world, watch out.
Additive their last time out against Arizona State, had a great chance to pull off a road upset. It didn't happen. There will be better days ahead. Those days will come next season in 2026. 39-0 our final score. Now 11-1 on the campaign, and those 11 victories all coming by at least 20 points.
And this team has not gotten complacent. Texas Tech has stayed locked in and